Hello, welcome back to LK Tuition. My name's Lucas and today we're going to be looking at converting area and volume. Hope you're well and let's get cracking. Alright then, so first let's remember a simple fact that 1 metre is the same as 100 centimetres. So if we're looking at things like length, you can just use all those conversions you already know. 1 kilometre is 1,000 metres, 1 metre is 100 centimetres, 1 centimetre is 10 millimetres, and so on. But then if we go into area and volume, it changes a little bit. So if we were thinking about area, this conversion doesn't stay as, because 1 metre is 100 centimetres, that doesn't mean that 1 metre squared is 100 centimetres squared, because we need to square the numbers as well. So since 1 squared is 1, that 1 metre is the same as 1 metre squared in our conversion, but we need to square this 100 as well, and 100 times 100 is 10,000. So we're going to get that 1 metre squared, I'm just going to write this out again, we're going to get that 1 metre squared is the same as 10,000 centimetres squared. Okay, and that's because when we square 1, we get 1. 1 times 1 is 1. But when we square 100, that's where we're getting this 10,000 from. Okay, and then with volume, it's going to go even bigger. So, because we're cubing it. So with 1 metre cubed, again, 1 cubed is just 1, so that 1 stays the same. But then this 100 cubed is 100 times 100 times 100, which is going to be 1 million. So let's write that out again. So 1 metre cubed is the same as 1 million centimetres cubed. Okay, so whatever your conversion is in kind of 1D, so when there's no squared or cubed, you just got to square that up or cube that up to get your area and volume. All right, so let's just try a couple of examples. So we want to convert 5 metres squared into centimetres squared. Well, let's just write out our conversions first so that they're going to be pretty straightforward. So we've got that 1 metre is 100 centimetres. We've got that 1 metre squared is 10,000 centimetres squared. And we've got that 1 metre cubed is 1 million centimetres cubed. Alright then, so 5 metres squared then is going to be, well, we just need to times it by this 10,000. So 5 times 10,000 is going to be 50,000 centimetres squared. Alright, number 2, we want to convert 2.7 metres squared into millimetres squared. Okay, so we're going to need a slightly different conversion here. So let's just write a new one. So we're on about millimetres, so we know that 1 centimetre is the same as 10 millimetres. But if we're in squared, well, 1 centimetre squared is going to be, well, 10 squared is 100. So 1 centimetre squared is 100 millimetres squared. Okay, so we're on metres to start with. So let's first just turn it into centimetres. So if I use this different colour, so this is going to be, we want to times it by 10,000 to get to centimetres squared. So that's going to be 27,000 centimetres squared. And then we want to turn that into millimetres. So we're going to times that by 100 because this is our conversion there. So we'll times it by 100 again. So it's going to be 2,700,000 millimetres squared. Have I done that right? Yeah, I think I have. Okay, so that's that one. Alright, next we want to convert 4,000 millimetres squared into centimetres squared. Well, remember that 1 centimetre squared is 100 millimetres squared. So from millimetres we're going backwards to centimetres, so we divide by 100. So this is just going to be 4,000 divided by 100, which is 40 centimetres squared. Okay, so here there's a lot of kind of timesing by powers of 10, dividing by powers of 10. So I think there's another video on that, so definitely check that out and have a bit of practice if you're not sure about what you're doing. All right, and then number 4, we want to convert, well, how many zeros have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 9,800,000,000 centimeters squared into meters squared. So we want to use this one. So we want to divide by 10,000, or the kind of cheating way of doing it is knocking 4 zeros off. So if I just cheat a little bit and just do that, we're going to get 980,000. So this is 980,000 meters squared. All right, and that's them. Let's move on to the next slide. So we've got a few more examples. So these are all to do with cubes now. So let's just quickly redraw our facts. So we've got 1 meter is 100 centimeters. We've got 1 meter squared is 10,000 centimeters squared, and we've got that 1 meter cubed is 1,000,000 centimeters cubed. And then we also had that 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. 1 centimeter squared is 100 millimeters squared, and 1 centimeter cubed, well, we want to times this by 10 again. Cube 10, we're going to get 1,000 millimeters cubed. All right, so number 1, we want to convert 6 meters squared, 6 meters cubed into centimeters cubed. Well, we just want to times it by 1,000,000. So using this one here, just times it by 1,000,000. So this is going to be 6 million centimeter cubed. Yeah, so there we're just timesing it by 1,000,000. All right, number 6, we want to convert 1.4 millimeters cubed into centimeters cubed. All right then. So if we're going from millimeters into centimeters, we're going backwards, so we want to divide by 1,000. So this is going to be, well, again, dividing by 10 and using of decimals, it's going to be 0.0014 centimeter cubed. Okay, and that's because here I've just divided that by 1,000. All right, next one. We want to convert 53,000 centimeters cubed into meters cubed. So again, I want to use this one here. And so I'm going to divide by 1,000,000. Okay, so that's going to be, so I'll tell you what, let's just have a quick practice at dividing by powers of 10. So we've got 53,000. We're dividing by 1,000,000. So let's just put in a few dummy zeros there. So our decimal points there, divided by 1,000,000, that's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. So we want to move this 6 places. So this is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our answer then is going to be 0.053 meters cubed. Okay, no need to put in the zeros at the end. All right then, and then number 8, we want to convert 777,000 centimeters cubed into meters cubed. So very similar. So again, let's just pop this number down. A decimal point there. Let's stick in a couple more dummy zeros. So we want to divide by 1,000,000 again. So it's going to be another 6 jumps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is 0.777 meters cubed. All right then. Okay, so I hope that all made a bit of sense. So let's do a couple of implied examples. So as always, feel free to pause the video and try these yourselves. Otherwise, we'll do them together. So number 9, find the area of the rectangle in centimeters squared, then use this answer to find the area of the rectangle in meters squared. Okay, so let's just first find the area. So A for area, well, with a rectangle, it's just base times height, so 4 times 7, which is 28 centimeters squared. Now we want to turn this into meters squared, so let's remember that 1 meter is 100 centimeters, and so 1 meter squared is going to be 10 10,000 centimetres squared just by squaring 100. So to go into metres squared, we want to divide by this 10,000. So 28, we've got a decimal there. Let's stick in another few zeros. 10,000 has got 4 zeros in it, so we want to move this 4 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So our answer is going to be 0.0028 metres squared. Okay, next one then, we want to find the volume of this cuboid in metres squared, then use this answer to find the volume of the cuboid in centimetres squared. Okay, well we'll do V for volume, and this is just base times width times height, so just times them all together, so 6 times 2 times 8, which should be 96, so that is 96 metres squared. Now this time we're going from metres to centimetres, so instead of dividing by 10,000 we want to times by 10,000. So that's going to give us 960,000 centimetres. Oh, well, what have I done here? I've done it in area instead of volume, so let's back up a little bit. So we're doing volume, so we need to use a third conversion. So 1 metre cubed is going to be 1 million centimetres cubed. Alright, so I've got a bit ahead of myself there. So we want to times this by a million then. So this is just going to be 96 million centimetres cubed, and that is cubed as well. Okay. Alright then, next one. Okay, so we're just going to do a little bit on volumes of liquids now, because this can come into these kind of questions. So we just need to remember the fact that 1 milliliter is the same as 1 centimetre cubed. Okay, so just a little thing to remember, that 1 milliliter is equal to 1 centimetre cubed. And in order to compare volumes of different liquids, we might need to convert them so that they are either both in milliliters or both in centimetres cubed. Right then, so let's just use this to work this out. So we want to convert 7 litres into centimetres cubed. Well, let's just quickly write our rule. So we've got that 1 milliliter is equal to 1 centimetre cubed. All right, now first things first, this question here, number 11, is not in milliliters, it's in litres. So the other thing we need to remember is that 1 litre is 1,000 milliliters. Milli always means 1,000 or something. So 1 millimetre is 1,000th of a metre, and so on. All right then, so 7 litres. So 7 litres, well, that's going to be 7,000 millilitres. And we know that 1 milliliter is 1 centimetre cubed, so this is just going to be 7,000 centimetres cubed, and that's that. Alright, next we want to convert 2,300 millilitres into centimetres cubed. This question is even easier because 1 milliliter is 1 centimetre cubed, so this is just 2,300 centimetre cubed. Alright, next we want to convert 5,500 centimetres cubed into litres. So let's turn it into millilitres first, that's the easy bit. So it's 5,500 millilitres. Then divide by 1,000, because there's 1,000 millilitres in a litre. So that is 5.5 litres. Right. Okay, so I'm just going to change this question slightly. It didn't really make sense as it was. So let's write this out again. So we want to convert, let's do 64 metres cubed into millimetres. Okay, so we've got 64 metres cubed, but we want centimetres cubed, don't we? So if we remember that 1 metre cubed, let's just go straight to this, is the same as 1 million centimetre cubed. Okay, so 64 metres cubed is going to be the same as 64 million centimetres cubed, but 1 centimetre cubed is 1 milliliter. So that is the same as 64 million millilitres. Okay, so let's have a look at an applied example. So number 13 says list the containers below from smallest to greatest in terms of how much water they can contain. Okay, so we just want to convert them all into the same units. So why not do milliliters? Milliliters is in the middle, isn't it? We've got litres, they go to milliliters, and we know that milliliters is the same as centimetres cubed. So let's keep that as the same. 350 centimetres cubed is just going to be the same as 350 millilitres. And then 0.08 litres, well, how many millimetres is that? Well, we want to times it by 1,000. So let's just stick in a few zeros there. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. So that is 80 millilitres, like that. Okay, so we want to list them in terms of how much water they can contain from smallest to greatest. So that is going to be C, then A, then B. Great. All right, and then the last question, it says how many litres of water are needed to fill the empty fish tank below? All right then, so let's first find the volume of it. We've got the three things for volume, so we just need to times these together. So volume is going to be 10 times 15 times 60. I've not got my calculator, so let's try and do that in my head. So 10 times 15 is 150. 150 times 6 is going to be 900, so this should be 9,000, I think. Let's just double check that. Yeah, I think that's 9,000 centimetres cubed. All right then, but now we know that that's just going to be 9,000 millimetres cubed. I don't know what I'm putting there, millimetres cubed. That's going to be the same as 9,000 millilitres. And then we just want to convert that to litres. So we're just going to divide by 1,000. So that is 9 litres are needed to fill the tank. All right then, so that was quite a long one, but I hope you've found it useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon for some more maths videos.